So my fiance and I have been engaged for the past 6 months. We're about to get married in 3 days, and there's just a whole lot of drama because of his mother right now. We have been together for the past 4 years. I'm 32 years old, female, and he's 29 years old. I run a restaurant with a friend of mine from culinary school, and we are moderately successful. But this friend of mine happens to be a guy, so the fact that I'm older than him and the fact that I'm very close with this friend, it's why my mother-in-law doesn't like me. Also, the fact that I've been married before, I'm pretty sure that doesn't help. I had been married to my college boyfriend for a year before I found out he'd been cheating on me throughout our marriage. And even before that, when we were dating, he had been cheating on me with multiple women. I loved him, I really did, but of course, I had to let him go because there's no way I was going to stay with a man who couldn't even value me enough to stay loyal to me. The divorce was pretty ugly because he was not ready to let go of our marriage. So it was a really long and stressful time of my life, but ultimately I was able to finalize the divorce on my terms, and since then I have not seen him. My friends know better than to bring him up with me, so I have no idea what he's been up to. And the last that I had heard, he had moved out of state a couple of months after the divorce had been finalized. And that was that. I got divorced at the age of 24, and after that, I was single on purpose for a couple of years, and by that I mean I didn't even go out on any dates or whatever. I was completely on my own until I felt like I was ready to trust people again. Then I had a few flings, but nothing serious. After all of that, 4 years ago, I met my fiance. Back then, I was very skeptical about new relationships. And of course, it was difficult for me to trust people. But in spite of all of that, he showed me that he was serious about me. And after about 6 months of asking me out, I finally agreed to go out with him, and since then, we've been together. And then, of course, getting married was another topic altogether, because I was skeptical about that as well, so I put it off for about a year until earlier this year, when he told me that he would be fine with never getting married as long as it meant that he would be able to spend the rest of his life with me, marriage or no marriage. I think that was what sealed the deal for me, and I was the one who ended up proposing to him because I knew that getting married would make him happy, and that's what I wanted to do. But I think that was the last straw for my mother-in-law, the fact that I had decided to propose to him instead. And my fiance proudly narrated this story to everybody who was there at our engagement party. My mother-in-law was not happy about this at all, and she has insisted that we set it right by staging a proposal where he proposes to me instead, because that's the way things should be done. But we don't think that's necessary, so we haven't done it. I think by now it must be pretty clear that my mother-in-law is a bit traditional when it comes to her values and beliefs regarding all of this. Yeah, that's been quite a bone of contention between both of us for the past couple of years, because she has made it abundantly clear that she doesn't agree with my life choices, and she doesn't like the fact that her son has chosen me. She always has a very weird attitude around me. She's always making unnecessary comments, and I don't like it. The only reason I don't give it back to her is because I know that it's going to cause a lot of drama and problems in my fiance's relationship with his mother. And he doesn't want that because he's a single child. He doesn't have any siblings, and his mother doesn't have anybody else to count on because his father passed away a few years back. He's very understanding though, and he always tries to get his mother to respect me more. But the best that we can do for each other is just be civil in front of others and nothing more. Anyway, after we got engaged, she has been more hostile than usual, because I guess this cemented the fact that I'm going to be a part of her family, and she wasn't happy about that. Nowadays, she hardly visits, and whenever my fiance and I have to visit her, She only speaks to him and doesn't even glance at me, not even to make snarky remarks like she used to. She just ignores me altogether, and I'm honestly fine with this arrangement. I don't care. So I have not tried to make things better either, because I really don't think she's the kind of person that I would be able to get along with at any point in my life. And I think that my fiancé has a lot on his plate already, so he doesn't need to get involved in any of this, which is why I didn't really care about improving my relationship with her or putting in an effort or whatever. I think I had done that enough in the initial stages of my relationship with my fiancé, but clearly she doesn't want me and she doesn't like me, and I'm not going to force her to change her mind. So this was coming from a place of self-respect and not a place of disregard. And I think those are two separate things, and you guys will know why I'm bringing this up in a while. So anyway, a couple of days ago, just a week before my fiancé and I are supposed to get married, my mother-in-law called me up and invited me over. And that in itself was a surprise, because she has never done anything like that. In fact, I didn't even know that she had my phone number. But when she called and told me that she really wanted me to come over so we could have a heart-to-heart conversation and sort out all the differences that we have had in the past, I was genuinely shocked, because up until that point, there had been no signs that she wanted to fix things. And the last time that we had met, she had ignored me as usual. So I didn't see this coming at all. I had been at work, and my restaurant is really not that far from her house, so I decided to speak to my husband about it quickly, because he was at work as well, and he told me that I should do whatever I think's right, but he would definitely suggest giving it a chance, because we were about to be family now, and he wanted us to have a good relationship if that was a possibility. So with that in mind, I agreed to go and meet her, and I honestly did not have any suspicions, because I did not think that she would be up to something wrong, and that's where I was mistaken. When I drove to her house and I rang the doorbell, I expected her to open the door. But instead, it was my ex-husband who opened the door, and he was looking quite happy. I obviously haven't seen him in a very long time, and it took me a minute to even place him. But when I recognized him, I was shocked. I wasn't expecting to see him there. In fact, I never expected him to be back here in the first place, so I was caught off guard. And within a few seconds, my mother-in-law had shown up beside him, and both of them were smiling at me. And she asked me if I was happy to see my old friend, as if it was some hilarious joke that they were in on. My mother-in-law then started explaining to me that after I got engaged, she decided to find out who I've been married to before this. Because, of course, she had to do her due diligence as a mom. And she couldn't just let her only son get married to whoever without any background information. She said that she just wanted to confirm that I had been telling the truth about why I got divorced and everything. So she did some online digging, and that's how she was able to find my ex-husband on Facebook. She knew his first and last name and what he did for a living. She knew where he went to college, so it was not that hard for her to find him, with a little help from her more tech-savvy friends. Once she found him, she reached out to him and told him that I was getting married and that she would love to have a little chat with him before she allowed that to happen. And he, of course, being the person he is, readily agreed. So they got to talking, and apparently they had been in contact with each other for the past 6 months. And when my ex-husband found out that he would have to come back here for a family thing during the week of my wedding, there couldn't have been a happier occasion. And the two of them decided to pull this prank on me. This had apparently been in the works for a couple of weeks now, and that's why my mother-in-law had called me over, so she could surprise me. And I was definitely surprised, I can't deny that, but not in a good way. The fact that they were being so cavalier about it was also something that I couldn't handle. And within a couple of minutes, I was turning around and walking back to my car, because I couldn't take this anymore. Instead of going back to my restaurant, I decided to drive back home, and I called my fiance. And I told him about everything that had happened, and I literally broke down into tears because I felt so betrayed and humiliated. I don't know if my mother-in-law had been told the truth about what had actually happened and why we had gotten divorced, but she knew my version of things at least. I don't know what my ex-husband has told her, but I don't think it should matter. I think the fact that she knew that he had traumatized me a lot and he had hurt me a lot should have been enough for her to respect the fact that I did not want to see him again. And she should have kept him away from me. I can understand that she doesn't like me, but everything has a limit. And this just crossed a line that I didn't even know people could think of crossing. And on top of that, she was behaving like this was something very normal. She was totally casual about it. And I don't think that my ex-husband has any remorse or regrets. This is the kind of person he is. But I didn't expect something like this out of my mother-in-law. Anyway, after I told him everything, my husband came back home right away and he was fuming. So that made me feel slightly better. He told me that he was disinviting his mother from the wedding right away, and he was going to make sure that we don't have any contact with her until she apologizes to us sincerely. And even if she apologizes, she's not going to be coming to the wedding because what she has done was totally unacceptable and really wrong. I felt much better after he had come back home, and he comforted me. He consoled me and made me feel like I had done the right thing by telling him everything immediately instead of waiting it out. Obviously, I was not doing anything with an intent of separating him from his mom. But I think, after what had happened, he had made the right choice because she clearly did not respect me. And if she couldn't even respect the relationship that I had with her son, then it was clear that her dislike of me was more of a priority than her love for her son. Anyway, after he spoke to me and comforted me, he decided to call his mom. And he told her that he was really disappointed in how she had behaved, and told her that she would not be welcome at the wedding anymore. And unless she chose to apologize to me and actively work on improving her behavior, she would not be welcome in our lives in general either. Obviously, she immediately started defending herself instead of realizing that what she had done was really out of bounds. She started saying that she had only meant for this to be a harmless little prank. And she doesn't understand why I have to overreact because it has been years since my divorce, and by now I should be over it because she doesn't think that it's that bad anymore. Like I said, I don't know what exactly my ex-husband told her, but I'm pretty sure that he must have said something to make himself look better because my version of the story, which is the truth, obviously portrayed him in a very bad light. And I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that he must have said something to contradict me because otherwise, I don't understand why she would believe that it would be easy for me to move on from whatever had happened in spite of how many years it has been. Anyway, when that did not work, she started defending herself, saying that the only reason she had gotten in touch with my ex in the first place was to confirm that my fiancé was doing the right thing by choosing to marry me. Because in the past I had never made much of an effort to get along with her, and my behavior also did not seem like that of somebody who would be able to make a good wife in the future. So she just wanted to check certain things, and that's why she chose to reach out to my ex. When they got to talking, she realized that he was a changed man now and was very different from whatever I had said. So they got along, and that's how they ended up planning this prank, because he was apparently keen on being friends with me again, and that's why he had shown up. Obviously, nobody's going to believe this bunch of BS apart from her. And neither did my fiancé. He just told her that he did not want to hear from her until she was ready to apologize and hung up. After that, for the next 2 days, she kept trying to reach out to him, but never with an apology. And the only reason he did not block her was because, in case of an emergency of the medical kind, he wanted to be kept in the loop, which I totally understand. So anyway, that was what was going on, and obviously we were both kind of upset, but we were trying not to let this get in the way of our happiness regarding our wedding. Now, with just 3 days to go, she has finally decided to reach out to me, but here's the thing. I don't want to talk to her. Even if she wants to apologize to me, I still don't want to hear it. Not right now, at least. Because I know that whatever it is that she has to say, it's not going to make a difference to me. Whatever has happened is too recent, and I'm not ready to hear her out. So that's why I haven't replied to any of her messages or phone calls. She has been calling me since the morning, and she's been leaving me a bunch of texts asking me to call her back or at least text her back. And I've been ignoring all of it. I haven't even told my fiance about it, but I feel like I might be doing the wrong thing here. I don't know for sure. I feel a bit confused, so I'm here to ask if I'm doing the right thing or not. AITA for not responding to my mother-in-law after her insensitive prank? Update 1. Okay, so it's been a few hours since I posted, and I finally told my husband everything that had happened today. Because it felt wrong not telling him. And everybody in the comments said that I should tell him, so I did. And his reaction was exactly what I had expected. He said that if I did not want to talk to her, then I was under no obligation whatsoever to give her a chance, because I had already given her a chance. And she had totally blown it by using that chance to betray me and hurt me for absolutely no reason. So I was absolutely well within my rights to be suspicious of her. And even if I was not suspicious, I still didn't have to talk to her if I didn't feel like it. He also told me that I don't need to feel bad about everything that's happening, because at the end of the day, it is not my responsibility to fix everything. It's not my responsibility to make sure that my mother-in-law does the right thing, because so far I have done nothing but be civil with her. And yes, I might not have tried to put in an effort to make things right with her, but I'm not a suck-up, and I'm not a pushover, and she's not the boss of me, so why should I? She has a bunch of problems with me for completely irrelevant and arbitrary reasons, but those are her problems. I've never had an issue with her. I've never been rude to her or made any remarks about her like she has. So right now, whatever's happening, it's on her. And she has brought this onto herself. When he said that to me, I think that alleviated a lot of my guilt, because I had been feeling very weird about all of this right from the beginning. But he's right. This is not my fault. I don't need to feel sorry about what happened, because I didn't do anything. Also, a lot of people have been asking me a bunch of questions about my ex-husband, and to that I only have to say, I don't know what he's up to now. When we met at my mother-in-law's house for those few minutes, I had tried hard not to look at him, because I didn't even want to see his face, because I hate him that much. And it was actually because of my mother-in-law that I found out that he was here for a family thing. I don't know whether that's the truth or not. I don't know whether he was actually here for a family thing, or if he had actually come by, flown all the way here only so that he could make me miserable right before my wedding. I mean, honestly, judging by the kind of person he is, I wouldn't put it past him. Trust me. My divorce was quite bad, and I'm not even exaggerating. He did everything in his power, along with his family and his lawyer, to make sure that everything was finalized on his terms. And in the beginning, he was not even willing to let go of our marriage, in spite of having cheated on me so many times. It was like he was trying to punish me for wanting to leave. It was all about his ego and satisfying himself. That's what it really was. So right now, I'm pretty sure that he feels very powerful, because he thinks he's been able to make me uncomfortable right before my wedding or whatever. It's just a weird ego trip that he's on. I don't know what's wrong with him. I seriously think he needs help because I don't understand what kind of person would do this, especially when they haven't even been in touch with their ex for so many years. I haven't done anything to him for those years. I haven't even thought about him or spoken to him, so I don't know what his problem is. I guess he's just the kind of person who likes drama. And because he found my mother-in-law, I guess both of them teamed up to take out their frustration on me. Honestly, I just hope both of them can heal, because this is not how normal people behave. There's something seriously wrong with both of them. Anyway, whatever it is, that's wrong with them. It's not my problem anymore. And I'm not going to deal with it. Not my circus, not my monkeys. From now on, I'm just going to focus on my wedding and I'm just going to focus on being happy. We're not going to let these people derail our happiness. That's what my fiance and I have decided, and we are going to stick to it, come what may. Update 2. So it's been 24 hours since my last update, and now there's just 2 days to go before my wedding, but even now, my mother-in-law is not willing to let go of all the drama. Yesterday, she bothered me the whole day. She tried to call and text me and I did not respond, and in the end, I just blocked her. I figured that if she had some sort of emergency, she could just contact her son. So why am I keeping her unblocked? I realized that I had no reason to do that, so I blocked her, and today in the morning, I guess, she realized she couldn't get through to me anymore. I guess that offended her on a spiritual level, so she decided to text my husband and started trying to manipulate him by turning the situation against me. And I have to say, she's pretty clever regarding all of this, because she chose to put a very new spin on it. She chose to say that he should really reconsider his marriage to me, because if I'm still getting so bothered and weird about my ex, even though I have been with him for 4 years and I'm about to get married to him, then there is something wrong with me. She's trying to imply that I might still have something going on. Maybe not consciously, but maybe subconsciously. And the only reason that I'm so upset about seeing my ex, maybe because deep down I'm really not over him, and that's why I've taken so much time to say yes to him. Not just for the wedding, but also to date him in general. She's trying to make it seem like the only reason I'm upset is because I might have a thing for my ex, completely overlooking the fact that this man was the reason I had trust issues for so many years, and I had to seek therapy for it. This man was the reason I couldn't bring myself to get into a relationship for so many years after him, because I was scared of getting hurt again. He was the reason that I lost so many friends because they decided to side with him, and I found out that his friends were never really my friends. And no matter what he had done, for these people, he was always going to be the good guy, and I would be the heartless woman who overreacted and filed for divorce over a few affairs. I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what happened with my college friend group. And I guess it was my bad for assuming that my boyfriend's friends were my friends as well. Anyway, that was just the tip of the iceberg. What happened during the divorce really took a toll on me, so I think I have earned the right to be traumatized by him, and do not want to see him even after so much time has passed. And really, is there a statute of limitations on things like this? Who is she to tell me that it's not normal for me to be bothered by the sudden reappearance of my ex when I'm about to get married to somebody else? I think the fact that I'm about to get married to somebody else is because my mother-in-law is the one who decided to reintroduce my ex into my life on purpose. And it should be enough for me to be bothered. And if she really doesn't see that, then I think that's her problem, not ours. Anyway, whatever the thing is, my fiance and I don't care about it. And he has deleted all those messages and has replied to his mom, telling her that she's just digging her own grave deeper, and if she goes on talking crap about me, then he will be forced to cut her out of his life permanently. And that will be irreversible. So she should tread lightly, and since then, she hasn't messaged, so I think that's getting to her. And it's a good thing that it is, because I can tell that my fiancé is pretty serious about what he's saying. He's not happy about any of this at all. So far, he has given a lot of chances to his mother to improve her behavior towards me, but she has never done so, and I think the fact that I have always put up with it has made her believe that she can do whatever she wants and get away with it. She doesn't seem to understand that the only reason I did not do anything, or the reason that her son did not do anything, is because we didn't want her to be abandoned in the end, so we were giving her chances out of pity, not because she's infallible and we're scared of letting her go. In fact, she should be the one scared of what's going to happen. But I guess she doesn't have the foresight for that. Anyway, there are just 2 days to go before my wedding, and I don't want to let anything ruin these few days, so I'm just putting her out of my head totally, and for good now. Update 3. So you guys, I'm married now. It's been a week, and I still can't believe it. It's been surreal, and everything went according to plan. I couldn't have been happier with the whole thing if I tried, honestly. It was a magical event. And I still feel like I'm floating, my husband and I. And I can't believe I get to say that now, my husband. We've been the happiest that we've ever been. Of course, my mother-in-law was a no-show, and we were glad for that. In fact, after my last update, she has not texted us at all or bothered us, and I'm very happy about it. There were a few people asking about her absence, but we were able to dismiss it by just saying that we had some issues, and we did not want to get into it, and everybody respected our privacy by not asking much. But I'm sure people must be speculating. It's okay, though. They have a right to do that, as long as they don't come prying into our personal business. Anyway, all that aside, I'm very happy with how things turned out at the wedding. And in a couple of weeks, both of us will be leaving for our honeymoon, and I'm hoping that that goes equally beautifully as well. I'm really happy. I can't say anything else. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.